Hi everyone, welcome back to your own YouTube channel Infinite Iteration. I hope that you guys are learning something new with each videos that I post, and if you find my videos helpful, valuable, beneficial for you, then I humbly urge you, I request you to please subscribe to my channel, like my videos and watch it completely to learn more and more exciting things that I will post later in this channel. Okay, so today we are going to continue our discussion with advanced operating system, and today we are going to discuss about protection rings, processor protection ring. So it is basically a virtual concept. It is not physical or a hardware concept. It is a virtual concept, and we have different level of protections, and we assigned it in terms of ring, like ring 0, ring 1, ring 2, ring 3, as you can see in the schematic in my slides. And ring 0 where the kernel lies, and ring 1 and 2 in between the user and the kernel mode. So these are privileges. And in order to access each ring, we have to make system call. Like ring 3 is where the user lies, like we use our computer, we are in ring 3 mode, and in order to access the kernel we have to make some system call. So it is a hierarchical system of privileges for an operating system. Why need protection rings? Because if we have too many systems going on, like processes, it can accidentally crash the system, because each will like occupy the kernel, will try to occupy the kernel. So in order to make it better, like all the processes go in flow, we have to use the concept of protection rings. It is also feasible for security purposes and different, we will discuss later. So processor protection rings, as I told you before, the lowest number is 3 where our user mode lies, and the highest protection ring is 0 and where kernel is lying. Like real world example of this, like you open a file in MS Word running in ring 3 user mode cannot directly access the disk because it has some privileges. Instead it makes a system call. As I told you, in order to access we have to make a system call. We have discussed system call in our previous video, you can check, which passes the request to the kernel. The kernel checks permission and then allows or denies the action. Privileges levels in protection ring. As I told you before, we have ring 0, ring 1, ring 3. Ring 0 is where the kernel lies, ring 1 and 2 intermediate levels, and ring 3 is the user mode. So we have 3 different types of rings, and these are privileges level of operating system, and it is a purely virtual concept. How the ring model work? The rings are hardware level features of the CPU. The processor keeps tracks of the current privilege level and will prevent code from a less privileged ring from executing instruction. So we have control transition in between the ring layer, and we have, as I told you, it enhanced security and stability of the operating system. Why are protection rings important? Because as I told you, if we have too many processes going on, it can somehow accidentally crash the whole system. So it is good for system stability, security and virtualization. We will discuss later in our videos about in depth about the virtualization concept in OS. Ring 1 and ring 2, as I told you, these are intermediate ring and they are not widely used, they are not commonly used. So we only encounter with ring 0 and ring 3. CPU modes. What are CPU modes? CPU modes are also called processor mode. It is purely a hardware concept, not a virtual concept, that determines the scope and authority of computer's central processing unit CPU. They prevent user application from performing privileged system critical operation, thereby ensuring the stability and security of the entire system. And the computer CPU switches between user and kernel mode depending on the code that is running. And certain applications are restricted to user mode while others operate in kernel mode. What is the difference between CPU mode and protection mode? And we have I have told you before that CPU protection rings are abstract model of privilege level. It is a virtual concept, while CPU mode is the hardware enforced implementation. It is a physical phenomena. User mode. User mode ring 3, where our user interface lies, where we interact with our computer, we are in ring 3. In order to access the ring 0, we have to make a system call. So it is a limited access. We have to request access through system call, and isolation stability mode bit, a special hardware bit called mode bit, is set to 1 when the processor is running in user mode. Kernel mode 0 is the privileged and unrestricted execution. Once you go to the ring 0, you have full access over all the kernel and hardware of your operating system. So you have full access, you have shared resources, system calls, and mode bit. When the processor in operating in kernel mode, the bit is set to 0. You can see here the mode bit in user mode ring 3 is set to 1, and while in kernel mode ring 0, mode bit is set to 0. How processor mode works: when computer start, the processor begins the highest privilege level kernel mode, and it then loads the operating system code, launching an application, privileges check, it makes system calls and handle different requests that made by the user. Transitioning between the modes, we have basically two modes, user mode and kernel mode. In order to transition between them, we have to invoke system call, we have to initiate system calls, and when our process or our request is done, we have to return the system call and we return back to the user mode. Like first we are in the user mode, then we go to the kernel mode, and finally again we are in the user mode. Is the same thing, like we make a system call and we execute the system call and then return to the user mode. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you guys learned something new today, and if you find my videos helpful, then please support my channel, help me grow, because I will only bring highly paid courses free for you that are highly paid in the market. I will bring free for you and you will enjoy learning. If you want to become like job ready, I will teach you job ready skill. One more course is going on in my channel. It's related to full stack web development, where I will teach you all the latest tools and technologies related to web development. So please access to that course as well, and I will bring all the latest tools, latest emerging technologies like AI, machine learning, cyber security, DevOps, cloud, all the latest technologies free for you. And I will also help you making projects. You can also contact me via email. You can send me email if you want to make some project, or if you have some idea, or you can collaborate with me. So thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.